Attack. Attack of the Show. Attack.
Coming to you live from Sprint's 4G studio, it's Attack of the Show.
Everybody, welcome to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. My name is Kevin Burrow.
And I'm Allison Haislip.
Should we tell them what's coming on the show today?
Should you what?
Should we tell them what's coming on the show, or keep
I think
it a
we
mystery?
should we just surprise them? Let's tell them. Let's tell them.
On the show today, a new court ruling makes it 100% legal to unlock your smartphone. And that means big changes for Apple and a huge shakeup in the tech world. We're going to tell you what it means for you in the loop. Plus, the lovely Kelly Brook from Piranha 3D will be live in our studio. What's it like to get eaten by a killer fish? Oh, he's going to find out. And also, talk about my favorite ad for athletic apparel ever, right there. Just give it a say, yeah.
Okay,
there it is.
Kevin. Can we just cut to my camera? Can we just ignore him? Back to my camera? My camera? No, my. Thank you. And
Yeah.
then
As long as that's on the screen, we're good.
No. It's Stevie Tuesday.
Right.
Stevie Tuesday. There we go. Thank you very much. So that means a judgmental Chris Gore will be here to rate Clash of the Titans, Repo Man, and Batman Under the Red Hood. And today's Gadget Prime is Kodak's PlaySport video camera. It goes 10 feet underwater and shoots in full HD, so you can film your own shark attack. Sweet. I would just punch it in the face.
I want piranhas 3D.
I don't want to punch piranhas in the face. They would bite more. The password is?
Oh, buffering. Buffering. Allison, you've known me for what?
I have.
You've known me for 18, 19 years or so.
We'll go with that.
You know that I keep a list of things that I think are not fun.
That is true. He
top
does,
of that
actually.
list, mowing lawns.
That's true. Kevin, there is one way to make it less awful, and that is with a riding mower.
Oh.
Two ways to make it less awful. Riding mower and dog.
Yeah, at first I was going to say Arizona should have thought things through before they got rid of all their gardeners, but that is an adorable solution.
Yay, doggy gardeners. That was adorable.
Suddenly our show cares. All right.
All right, today's number 4 item comes to us from our favorite fake journalist, the Onion News Network.
Yes, this report is from the Onion's international feed for the Central American nation of Guatemala, where a recent tragedy has exposed some of the inherent problems with their airline industry.
En el accidente del vuelo 1134 de Aero Guatemala, hicieron un gran avance esta tarde al recuperar el loro de registro de datos de la cabina de mando cerca del lugar del accidente en la mesilla. La recuperación de datos aún continúa, pero los investigadores ya han difundido parte de los registros de Banana a la prensa. Le advertimos, el contenido que escuchará a continuación podría ser muy perturbador. Un mecánico de Aero Guatemala que habló en condición de anonimidad acusó a la aerolínea de ignorar los problemas con la tortuga motor, que debe golpear el suelo debajo de los pilotos al detectar la primera señal de funcionamiento defectuoso.
I like that the Guatemalan equivalent to pixelation is a bucket on the head.
Yeah,
That makes me
exactly.
happy.
You can't tell who I am with this thing on my head.
But the Guatemalans need to get their hands on some of those lawn mowing dogs, because that's an animal that actually works.
There you go.
Those adorable lawn mowing dogs. That's my new favorite thing.
You know, I saw a stormtrooper at Comic-Con that instead of a helmet, he had a white bucket on his head.
What was the...
Obviously, he couldn't walk anywhere, but it looked kind of cool when he was standing still.
Was there a purpose to it?
It was his white helmet to be a stormtrooper, and his armor was plates.
Okay,
Paper plates.
I think you may have run into a hobo outside the convention center.
Maybe that's why he smelled so bad.
Yeah.
No, wait, that doesn't make sense either. All right, election season is still down the road, but that doesn't mean the nut jobs aren't readying their campaigns yet.
No, for instance, here's habitual Tennessee office seeker Basil Marceau. Basil Marceau fans? Yeah. Basil, yeah. Bunch of liars in the studio? Yeah. This is Basil Marceau getting his equal airtime on Nashville's WSMV television station.
I'm BasilMarceau.com, the Republican candidate for governor. I'd like to recall all permit and registration for guns. Everyone can carry guns. If you kill someone, no, you get murdered. I mean, you go to jail. And I like to plant grass or vegetation across the state with any vacant lot and sell it for gas so we can use it for our expenses. I also want to stop traffic stops. Set it up like the Supreme Court ruled in Knowles versus Iowa. You can't find evidence in a car, you can't look. I want you all to vote for Basil Marcel.
Okay. My blink reaction, my gut on this one was to compare him to Sarah Palin, but at least he had ideas. I gotta give him that.
Oh, snap. Angry letters coming in.
Really?
Wait, let's be honest, he does make some excellent points for a crazy person.
Yeah, and to be even more honest, Californians don't really have any grounds to make fun of governors. So if you guys could please elect this guy so we don't look so ridiculous, that'd be awesome.
But our dude is totally famous, Kevin.
Yeah, that's cool for a t-shirt at LAX, but not for the schools.
Very cool t-shirt, very cool t-shirt. All right, so YouTube is a great place for emerging musical artists to showcase their vocal talents.
Or lack thereof, as demonstrated by singer Mahela Zeze Diamond, who found a beat and a lyric and just ran with it.
I'm gonna show you my genitalia. Oh, I'm gonna show you my genitalia. Hey, I'm gonna show you my Jenny. I'm gonna show you my Jenny. I'm gonna show you my genitalia.
Anthem.
I'm sort of concerned.
It's arrived.
I'm concerned that if the camera did actually tilt any lower, that song would be true.
Yeah, I was bummed that I thought it was going to be a spoiler. She doesn't actually show you her genitalia.
Exactly. But wait, are you ready for this? So here's the exact beat, same beat, repurposed for another song called E = MC Vagina.
Not to be confused with the actual MC Vagina out of Chatsworth.
Vagina, vagina, eh. Vagina, 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 vagina. Oh.
Let's not encourage
Hey, you
that.
like a word, you just stick with it, right?
That's not E = MC Vagina. Yes, but here's another equation, if I may. Man hands equals dude penis.
And you've just been fed. The penis.
You're welcome, everybody. Still ahead, if you miss over-the-top touchdown celebrations in pro football, don't worry. Soccer has you covered, kiddos.
See Icelanders do the next best thing to the Icky Shuffle in our #1 ATN.
The kicker ball.
Don't
your genitalia. Coming in at #1 today, it's a running kicker ball goal, everybody. And I know that...
Time to sports.
Yes, those in it of themselves are rare enough, but the celebration that follows this particular goal, it's worthy of Broadway, I'm telling you.
Yeah, two Icelandic teams, Kvarnan and Fylkir.
I think you just ordered
Right? Right, Icelandic audience? That's how you say that?
I think you just ordered an end table at IKEA. I think that's what you just
My
did.
microwave sits on a Beckvam, so it's
course it
highly
does.
possible.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
he's dreamy.
those two teams, they faced off recently, and here's what happened in extra time.
Yes. Awesome. Give him a gold card or something. That was awesome.
A gold card, I like it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if all soccer players did stuff like that after a goal, maybe more people would watch. Just
I
throwing
agree.
that out
I
there.
think that, oh, that was good. That was good. Let's go, guys. Congratulations. Okay, they just scored their game winner.
Oh, you want to play? You want to play?
You're getting my son in. awesome. Good job. Hey, to get your daily viral fix and for all the web videos and all that other good stuff, go to g4tv.com/ around the net. Let's get it on with Gadget Prom. Waterproof cameras are the future! If there's one thing we like to do during the summer, it's cool off. And that's why Kodak made the Play Sport video camera. Dive down to 10 feet underwater and record your memories in full high def, or take 5-megapixel still photos. There's even electronic image stabilization, so you can be as active as you like. And at only 4.5 ounces, this little cam is ready for any deluge at $130. All right, so you good?
Yeah.
Congrats on the branding.
You don't want to see. It's not pretty.
Oh.
All right, so what are we talking? Gadgetron? What's happening?
Yeah, Gadgetron. Waterproof
All right,
camera.
sweet. Oh, sweet. All right, so typically waterproof gadgets are kind of bulky, but this one is incredibly portable. It's barely thicker and heavier than the Flip. It has a thin side profile, so it fits in your pocket nicely, which is awesome. But Kodak has some trouble making these things user-friendly. So how did they do with this one?
There's only like levers to crank and knobs to turn to get it to go anywhere. This one's not that bad. The icons make a lot more sense. The buttons are larger than normal. Everything's just sort of easier to do, even underwater. Or if you're next to a llama. There's also an SD card slot, a mini HDMI out on the side. But one important note, you look like it looks like it's ruggedized. And normally when something is waterproof, that normally is followed by a comma and then dustproof and shockproof, etc.
Right.
This thing is just waterproof, so do not spike it like a newborn.
And just waterproof at 10 feet.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're not going scuba diving with this
correct.
thing, right?
I mean, you could. It'll just not work when you get to the surface.
It'll just not work. He'll be like, meh. You'll have to do that race trick. I don't even think it would work with that. So it's waterproof down to 10 feet, like I said. It shoots video in 1080p. It takes 5-megapixel stills and has a built-in uploading software. So how well do these features work?
Really well, actually. You can shoot video in 1080p, 720p, or 720p at 60 frames a second.
Why are we just randomly pouring water on it?
That's what we do with all electronics. We normally just don't air it. But the 720p at 60 frames reduces blur, which is very nice. The 5-megapixel stills also look surprisingly good. It's quick to take a picture. It will have a bit of loading time after you've actually snapped one, but other than that, it's gravy. The software is also pretty powerful. You can edit movies, convert your videos to your phone or other gadgets. You can upload to YouTube, Facebook, all sorts of other sites. It's not perfect, but most of it works just fine.
Well,
so
that's good.
If you're an average user, they're going to get their basic tasks
And
done.
just so you know, it actually has bubbles on the front of it. So just in case you're wondering, yeah, it can go in water. There's bubbles to show you that.
There you have it.
Okay, so it records video in full high definition. That doesn't necessarily mean the footage will look good, though. So what's the verdict?
It does look good.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Nice.
Normal light and outdoor footage is where this thing shines. You can see it's got lots of detail, vivid colors, especially for a pocket video camera. Now, typically these cameras, the main gripe is that they get very shaky since they're so light and flimsy. You get a lot of shake in your videos. This thing has built-in electronic image stabilization. It doesn't do wonders, but it does seem to help a little bit. Now, low light, not so hot, as you can see here.
So no swimming in the dark.
Yeah, those men don't even have beards. Those are just pure artifacts from the lack of light. You're going to see a lot of trailing, a lot of artifacting. It's not the best we've seen. It will get the job done. You'll be able to discern an image the next morning, but don't get this for intense night shoots. Overall, though, it is a much more impressive showing than the last Kodak video camera we saw.
Intense night shoots
kudos.
in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, the rain part, great. The night part, not so much.
Not so much. All right, so it's only $130, but you still need to get an SD card. So what are we rating it at that price?
Giving it a 4 out of 5, everybody.
Oh, look at that.
Great outdoor camera. It's easy to carry around with you all the time. If the video quality had been a little better, we would have given it a perfect score, but there you have it. It's solid showing from Kodak.
We've had a lot of perfect scores recently on Gadgetron. There were some good gadgets coming out
good.
lately.
Hey, still ahead, a new court ruling says that you can unlock your smartphone and install whatever applications you damn well please. It's about time, but find out more in the loop.
And later, Kelly Brook from Piranha 3D will be here live in studio, most likely to talk about her newfound fear of swimming. Welcome back. It's Tuesday, July 27th, and here are your top stories. Apple is finally taking a break from all of their iPhone worries with some long overdue upgrades to their flagship desktops. The all-in-one iMac is getting brand new Intel Core i3, i5, and i7 processors and beefed up Radeon HD graphics cards. The Mac Pro line is also getting Intel's newest processors and will offer up to a dozen processing cores, but still no Blu-ray drive. Meh. To round off the day, Apple also announced their Bluetooth multi-touch peripheral dubbed the Magic Trackpad. Okay, Apple, we get it. Your products are magical, okay? You don't have to put in the name. Game developer Valve has accidentally been letting out less steam than usual. Recently, reports began surfacing. You get that? You like that joke? That was funny? Thanks, guys. So recently, reports began surfacing that players of Modern Warfare 2 were being erroneously banned from Valve's digital distribution site. The problem apparently stemmed from a glitch in their anti-cheating software and resulted in even the most well-behaved online killers being banned without explanation. But the problem has since been resolved, and to apologize, those affected will be receiving a free Steam copy of Left 4 Dead 2. Which is okay by us, because free zombies make everything better. Yay! And finally, the RoboCop remake is sadly no more. Detroit Steel Warrior was fast-tracked to get a big-screen reboot from Requiem and the wrestler Helmer Darren Aronofsky, but the financial woes of RoboCop rights holder MGM, which have also sidelined The Hobbit and the next James Bond film, have deep-sixed the project indefinitely. Jeez, people, can't Detroit have something nice happen to them for once? I mean, I'm sorry, Detroit. I'm Allison Hayslip, and you've just been fed.
Hey, guess what? Something you've been doing all along with your cell phone is now legal. Ha! Sadly, it's not upskirting. It's all right. Here comes the loop.
Jailbreaking your phone and switching to any other carrier, a criminal act just a few days ago, is now completely legal. The U.S. Copyright Office has announced historic changes to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. These new rulings put the power back in the consumer's hands, giving you the ability to do what you want with the technology and media you own. So what's new? Well, in some cases, ripping DVDs and cracking copy-protected video games is now legal. But the most sweeping changes to the DMCA legalize the jailbreaking and unlocking of mobile phones. That means you now have the legal right to install unapproved third-party apps on your phone or switch to another provider. If you're looking for someone to thank for these new freedoms, look no further than the Electronic Frontier Foundation. They've been fighting for years with the U.S. Copyright Office and copyright holders to change the DMCA and preserve your right to hack the things you own. So how has the digital landscape changed? And what exactly are your new rights? We've got your Get Out of Jail Free card in the loop.
Alrighty, joining me from San Francisco to help us make sense of it all, reporter for CNET, Erica Ogg is here. How are you, Erica?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm excited. Maybe I shouldn't be, because this is something that people were doing all along. They were jailbreaking their phones, putting whatever software they wanted onto them. But now it's just legal, right? I don't have to be worried about someone coming through my ceiling and handcuffing me and dragging me out of my house.
Probably no, you don't. It's now, you have an exemption. You as a consumer, if you have purchased your phone, it is legal for you to jailbreak it or basically break the encryption on it.
So I can break the software and then put whatever fart applications I want on my phone. Nobody can dictate which apps I can put on there.
If that's what you want, sure.
That's exactly what I want. It's what we all want, I think. What else are we legally allowed to do now because of this?
Well, depending on the phone that you have, if you want to unlock it and switch to a different carrier, if your phone allows that, once you've jailbroken it, you can do that.
Okay.
Certain phones, like say the iPhone, in the latest version, Apple's actually prevented you from even switching carriers now, even if you've jailbroken it. So if you have maybe a later version of the phone with software, I think past iOS 3.1, you won't be able to switch carriers even if you've jailbroken it.
So it's interesting. It's a win for consumers. Hey, you can do whatever you want as long as the hardware manufacturers don't continuously keep trying to lock you out with their software.
Right.
Okay. Well, why do you think the Copyright Office changed its mind on an issue, the issue here? I know it's like every 3 years they have to go back and sort of reevaluate the DMCA, correct?
Right. The way that they wrote that law in the beginning, they said that they were going to revisit it every 3 years. And so this is basically the 3-year period was up. And the EFF took this up as an issue. And they came up with enough reasons, clearly, to convince the Copyright Office that this is something that they should change.
Sure. And please, preach to the choir. Indulge us as to why the EFF was saying this shouldn't be allowed. You should be able to jailbreak your phone. What was their argument now that all of a sudden worked?
Well, I think what they're saying is, you own the phone. So you should be able to do what you want with it. You're not, ostensibly, you're not going to be, altering the software on your phone or, reselling it, which I think is not really included in the bounds of this new exemption. Basically, it's for your own personal use.
Right. But we have heard reports that some mobile retailers are offering to unlock the phones that they sell. Is that legal now, or is it one of those things like they have to hand me the phone, I have to leave the store, go to the alleyway, pull out a laptop like the movie Hackers, and then come back and...
I don't think it's really clear. I think it's really going to depend on how a judge would interpret it. There's a lot of leeway in this kind of stuff, and I know that it definitely talks about you specifically as a consumer can do it to your own phone. I don't think the law is as clear about, whether someone else can help you do it or whether someone can use their business to help you.
Interesting. Now, what about someone making a business out of selling unlocking software? Could that happen now? Could I see it on the shelf at Walmart, or should the entrepreneur in me not start the side business?
I would caution against that. I think it's kind of a murky area right now, but I would say that's probably not going to be included.
Really, even though the software is now performing an act that is legal for the consumer to use, it still might be like that whole, selling software to decrypt a DVD, kind of held to the same standards there?
Yeah, I think it's sort of a legal, it's an intricacy about, the fact that it's your relationship, you to the phone, and not a business to your phone.
I'll let someone else try that out in the courts before I invest then. That's fine.
You probably should.
Who has the most to lose here, Erica? I mean, is it the handset manufacturers? Who's really going to be in trouble, or is anybody even going to be affected by this other than consumers who now don't have to worry about doing stuff like this?
Well, I think that's the thing. I think it's really largely symbolic that you yourself don't have to worry about it. I mean, I think practically the average consumer is probably not going to want to venture into jailbreaking their phone because it's really for the more technically savvy. And I know with certain manufacturers, like say Apple, if you jailbreak your phone, even now that it's legal, they say it voids your warranty. So if you take your phone back in, to get fixed, and they see you've jailbroken it, they're not going to fix it for you.
Right.
So you're kind of on your own at this point. So I think that the average person isn't really going to be doing this.
Right. Well, even if you touch it and it drops a call, they're still not going to do anything for you there, of course. But it seems like the conversation for the last 24 hours has been all about Apple. Whenever somebody brings up the story, they always say, like Apple. Is it just because they fought against this for so long, because they were fighting the jailbreakers for so long? Why is it?
I think that, and the fact that Apple's famous for being very particular about which carriers have its device, right? I mean, here in the U.S., we only have AT&T. In almost every other country, there's only one carrier. Some have more than one. But Apple likes to, their phrase is own and control their software and their hardware together. And that includes now, what carriers their hardware uses. So I think that because they exert so much control, I think that's why people have been focusing on them when it comes to this new ruling with the DMCA. Right.
So if you're Apple or any company that's potentially against this new exemption, you put the tail between the legs and going quietly into the night, or are you already planning appeals and throwing a war chest of money at taking this down?
I would say that companies, and not just Apple, every consumer electronics company does their own form of lobbying. So I'm sure that's still going to continue behind the scenes.
But for the next 3 years, Erica, do you think for the next 3 years consumers are safe?
Oh, for the next 3 years, yes. In terms of it being illegal. Now, there are other legal avenues beyond the DMCA that people can pursue. If you break your end user agreement, it could be a breach of contract issue. There's other legal tools they have for coming at you, but in terms of the DMCA, yes, it's now illegal.
So it's a sliver of light, but consumers aren't exactly blinded at this point by the sheer brightness of these exemptions.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's good to know at the very least. Erica Ogg from CNET, thank you so much for joining us and keeping us in the loop. We appreciate your time. And tomorrow we will bring you part 2 of the conversation to talk about your new rights that cover things like cracking software, ripping DVDs, and of course, making those sweet video mashups that you tweens love to do. But now let's go to Allison.
The world is a wonderful place full of heartwarming things like DJ schools for the elderly and horrible things like back piercing festivals.
All around the world, DJs rock the dance floor. But in Brazil, it's a bunch of grandmas and grandpas that are getting the party started. Yep, in the city of São Paulo, 28-year-old DJ Lisa Bueno has founded a DJ school for the elderly.
Drop that beat, young man!
Tired of the same old bingo games and sewing classes, 8 students over 50 have already enrolled in Bueno's class, including a 62-year-old electrician named Nilsson Kortram, who's been DJing parties and nightclubs for over 4 years now. New Tang Dynasty TV reports that the program is called I'm No Granny, I'm a DJ, a 3-month course that covers everything from setting up and working the turntables to mixing and affecting songs live. Oh, not to mention, it totally keeps Gramps feeling young again. But even without DJ hip cramps on the wheels of steel, the rest of the world knows how to party as well. Just take a visit to Germany, where organizers turned part of the Autobahn into the world's biggest public party in highway history. It was on a recent Sunday afternoon that 3 million people turned up to fill this 36-mile-long section of the A40 Autobahn between the western German cities of Dortmund and Duisburg. ITN News reports the event was called Still Life, in celebration of the Ruhr region getting named 2010's Cultural Capital of Europe. More than 20,000 tables were set up on the motorway, which helped coin the event as the longest banquet in the world. It's kind of cool to see people chilling out on a road where cars are usually racing by at, 200 miles per hour. Over in India, however, the average festival doesn't so much involve red cups and beer, but rather metal hooks and pins. Diagonal View reports the event is called Dasna, an annual festival recently held in Bengal, where worshippers perform body-piercing rituals to honor the Hindu gods Shiva and Shakti. After getting pierced by large hooks, the devotees were lifted into the air from a scaffold. It's believed that if the devotee escapes unhurt, then that is proof that he has the blessing of Lord Shiva. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I could do without the whole blessing and hole in my tongue thing. So no matter if it's DJing, partying, or self-inflicted pain, people all around the globe are getting down in their own unique way. So let us not judge, for that is what's up with the world.
I'm sorry. That back-piercing stuff. Holy crap. All right, right now, fall in for TV Tuesday. Welcome back, film expert Chris Gore.
Thank you.
Now,
thanks a lot.
Screw DVDs. Let's talk back piercing. No, I'm totally kidding. I don't want to talk about it at all. All right, what do we have up first?
First up, we have Clash of the Titans.
Okay, now this one, it's a remake of, what special features are worth checking out on it? Does it come in 3D? Because the movie was in 3D.
Well, that would be a complaint of mine. It should be in 3D. You know, they're starting to sell these 3D TVs. They made a big deal of it being in 3D. Where's my 3D? Come on! But there are some good extras. I mean, the one cool thing is it has this maximum movie mode, which is now on all these the Warner Brothers releases.
What is
which
that?
I've been like. It's basically it's an ongoing commentary where they'll cut to little insets of video, which I love. I'm a big fan of commentary. This is like a commentary where you're talking to the special effects makeup guy. You're talking to Sam Worthington. You're talking to the director.
Can we talk to Sam Worthington more?
We can talk.
Is that
to Sam Worthington all you want.
Can the whole commentary be by Sam Worthington?
But I love that way of presenting the special features.
All right. So what's the bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it, especially if you like Sam Worthington, like Allison does.
I might buy it. I might buy multiple copies of it.
Yeah.
Sam. All right, so what's the next DVD?
Repo Men.
Repo Men. All right, so this is a sci-fi film that kind of bombed in theaters, but do you think it's worth picking up on DVD?
Well, we'll definitely answer that at the end,
All right.
but I will say that this movie it's a weird hodgepodge of science fiction. It's like Logan's Run meets Repo Men by way of Blade Runner, and they really needed to work on that script a little bit more. Gonna be honest with you.
I saw this film.
It's a mix of everything.
And I actually highly enjoyed it and was sort of bummed that it didn't do so hot in theaters.
So you don't like logic? Is that your thing?
No,
somehow logic?
I like Jude Law being funny, and I felt like that's what this film was.
Oh, so it's a Jude Law comedy.
Right. Well, no, kind of. I don't know. I highly enjoyed it.
The ratio of the number of beers I'd have to drink for it to be entertaining, and then me blacking out,
Chris Gore,
is gonna not. It's not gonna make it entertaining.
Can we disagree to disagree?
This time.
Okay, only this time. I'm using the card this time around.
Yeah.
How are the extras on the DVD?
The extras are great. I think that the moms of the filmmakers are totally going to listen to the commentary. I listened to it, and their moms are going to be really proud.
Is Sam Worthington in the commentary?
Sam Worthington is not in the commentary.
I totally would have bought it.
So.
All right. So what's the bottom line? Although I'm scared to hear it.
Oh, easy. Pass.
Aw. Okay, I know.
It is.
I know this isn't my DVD Tuesday, but I'd say go watch it.
Okay.
But whatever, you're the film expert. All right. What else do you have today?
We've got Batman Under the Hood.
All right. So here's another recent Batman story arc that they've turned into an animated film. Will our viewers who are coming down from a Comic-Con high enjoy it?
No, I hope they enjoyed it as much as I did. I loved it. We both got Comic-Con voice.
I know.
Listen
totally,
to us.
Our 12-pack of cigarettes a day Comic-Con voice.
But no, what's cool is about this too is it diverts from the comic series, so the story is somewhat different, which I like because there's a lot of surprises in this, and I really love the way that they kind of took some old material, of course, dealing with. Oh God, I don't want to give too much away.
Right.
But it's just you will be really surprised. I mean, it's like a story worthy of a Batman film.
Right. Now the Blu-ray has over 3 hours of extras, which seems like it's longer than the thing itself. But so what stood out of the extras?
What's cool is there's a Jonah Hex cartoon, a short that is sort of different than the style of animated shorts we've seen from Warner Brothers. In addition, there's all these mini documentaries where they talk to all these guys from the comic book history, talking about Batman and Robin, and also how they came to the decision to kill Jason Todd Robin. By this phone poll, they asked fans whether they wanted Robin to survive or Robin to not survive, and it was decided
and people killed them off?
They paid 50 cents to make a call. It was decided by 65 votes. So kids,
oh my gosh,
voting does matter.
There you go.
If you want, it does.
If you want your superheroes to live, call in, please. So what's the bottom line?
Bottom line is buy it. Buy it.
There you go.
Some positive news.
Nice. Now I heard you have a quick pick.
Yes.
What's our quick pick?
Quick pick is the original Piranha out on DVD.
Not the 3D.
Not the 3D. Although in anticipation of the 3D Piranha coming out. And then look, it has a lenticular cover, which look at that.
Wow, that actually shows up really nice.
It's like the 3DS.
That's fantastic. All right, thanks, Chris. For more Gore, follow him on Twitter at @ThatChrisGore. Let's head over to Barrera.
Thank you, guys. Stay tuned. Piranha 3D's Kelly Brook will join us live in studio to talk about killer fishies. Stick around.
Attack of the Show is presented by Sprint. What can you do with 4G?
All right, my next guest stars in Piranha 3D, and she's actually not a flesh-eating fish, as far as I can see. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Kelly Brook. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
I'm glad you threw on your casual Friday attire to be here.
Well, I didn't know what to wear, and so I said,
well, they told you to dress casual.
They said casual!
Oh
and I was like, well, like jeans? I don't do casual. So, I just pulled out this old thing.
I would wear this to clean around the house or wash the car or to a red carpet. I mean, it's casual.
It doesn't hurt to make an effort.
No, and it shows you look gorgeous, so thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And you made...
I'm being very respectful, and I'm making most of this amazing opportunity to come on your show, so there you go.
Oh, that's now you're just lying. We know we know what kind of opportunity this is. But thank you nonetheless.
I it, didn't I?
No, it was really good. And you did an amazing opportunity at Comic-Con because the fans were crazy for your film, and it's like...
Oh, it was my first experience of Comic-Con. I'd never been there before.
Well, I'm sorry. And now that the shock is over, how are you recovering?
Well, I felt a bit out of place because I didn't have any, spandex to wear, and everyone was kind of walking around as Wonder Woman, and all these crazy... it seems like the larger you were, the more tight your outfit had to be. It just seemed is that kind of what they...
It's like Newton's Law of the moose knuckle. It happens at Comic-Con, yeah.
But
easy.
no, I have to say, I didn't meet any crazy fans. Everyone just seemed really lovely and actually just really passionate about movies. And I didn't know what to expect because those things can get a little bit crazy.
Sure.
But everyone seemed to like love our film Piranha 3D and just, so it was like, you know, to me it's like my first kind of Hollywood film, and then for it to be a genre film, and then to have that fan base kind of supporting it, it's just been amazing.
Sure.
So to meet them one-on-one, it was actually quite cool.
Well, that's great. And let's talk about Piranha 3D, because I hear Piranha 3D and I'm immediately scared.
Well, it is based on a true story, so you should be.
Well, good, yeah. We'll get to the story. I don't get the 3D thing. That scares me. So there's going to be piranhas, and they're going to be coming out of the screen into my face. Is that,
in your face.
Is that a safe assumption when I hear the term Piranha 3D?
There's a few piranhas. There's a few gorgeous girls in bikinis that are going to be coming out into your face as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's lots of that.
All right, I'm all right with that. So this must be based on a true story. Whenever gorgeous women run into a lake filled with piranhas, the first thing they do is put their breasts in my face. What is the backstory here with these crazy 3D piranha?
Well, there is an earthquake in Lake Havasu, and
so far so believable.
And prehistoric piranhas get released into the lake during spring break and ruin the party, unfortunately.
Okay, still believable. I'm on track. Yeah, I'm totally on track.
So I play the character of Danny, and she is. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these Girls Gone Wild videos. I don't know if you.
No, actually, no, mother. I don't know how they arrived under my bed.
They're these horrendous, horrible videos of girls that lift their tops up, and you don't want to know about it. But anyway, I play one of those girls. So yeah.
By the way, impossible to cancel the subscription. That's how they get you. You get in. The phone line to cancel is only 1 hour a week. I'm just food for thought. Did you shoot? You shot where? You shot during
in Arizona.
During an actual spring break or no?
No, but it was Labor Day weekend while we were there, and I saw all the cast members like packing up and leaving town for the weekend, and I was like, hang on, isn't this party weekend? Why is everyone going?
Right.
Being from England, I'd never experienced spring break or Memorial Weekend. I didn't know what that was, so I decided to kind of stay around and just see for myself what it was all about.
Lots of LA Looks hair gel and orange
I got
tans.
friendly with some crew members because they were kind of down with it, and I said, look, what's going on this weekend? They said, just don't worry, come out with us on the boat. So they picked me up in this boat. I've never seen anything like it. This boat had speakers, like Puff Daddy would have been impressed. It was like, I was like, you kid, this is like a floating boombox. What is going on? There was a stripper pole, and I had my eye on that. I was like, woo! And we had barbecues on the boat, like the girls on the boat, a couple of them had just got out of jail, so we had lots of talk, and lots of good stories.
What the hell kind of crew were you working with on Piranha 3D?
I was with the...
We got some ex-cons, some speakers, and a stripper pole. You want to have a weekend or what? Let's go.
Listen, I surrendered. I just embraced it. I just went for it, and I had the best weekend of my life.
At what point did the piranhas attack, though?
We didn't have any piranhas.
Okay, then you're lucky. And then you... Actually, it's an interesting story about how you got into the film. This was years and years and years of you auditioning, going on callback after callback, and it was finally whittled down for you to be in Piranha 3D. Is that did I hear the story correctly?
Well, yeah, I'd spent a lot of time in LA in my early 20s, and worked on some TV shows like Smallville and whatnot. And then, went back to England, and I was living in England, and came to LA on a holiday with my girlfriend.
Just hanging out?
Just hanging out, catching up with some friends, wasn't really pursuing anything. And Alexander Ajar, the director of Piranha, was in the same restaurant and came over to me and said, I am making this movie. I think you would be perfect as one of the girls in the movie. He's French. And I thought, oh, yeah, all right, whatever. And it turns out it was a legitimate movie.
And here you are.
And here I am, yeah. So it's
That's normally how you end up in a windowless van. On the internet in America. So I would say you lucked out, but you have worked so hard for it, and it's such a pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming on the show. You're an absolute joy. Piranha 3D opens on August 20th. Adorable. Thank you so much for coming on. But now, Miss Allison Hayslip, take it away.
If your life is lacking in scientific pursuits, worry not, because tonight It's Effin' Science returns with an all-new episode where they blow up a van. They blow up a van for science. It's Effin' Science airs tonight at 9. Go to g4tv.com/science for more info. Still ahead, today's epic fail will hurt your face. See a man's grill get used as a bumper when we get back.
Oh, this can't be good. Coming up tomorrow on an all-new AOTS, Adam McKay, co-founder of Funny or Die and director of The Other Guys, will be live in studio to talk about his buddy cop film.
Then Allison visits pro motocross rider and X Games gold medalist Brian Deegan as he prepares to defy gravity. And on Game Break, Morgan Webb brings us a look at the indie game Limbo, a crazy mix of Portal, Lost, and Little Big Planet. See it tomorrow.
We're gonna check in with the Twitter wall
That's
because
good. I've
it's
missed the
here
Twitter
and
wall.
why not? Twitter wall.
Yay! All right, what do we got? Cody Elizabeth, sorry. What is your favorite summer flick so far? What do you got, Kevin?
Inception for me.
Damn
thus
it,
far.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's okay to.
Although
it's okay
I
to
also
share.
highly enjoyed Despicable Me. Adorable.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I'm down to see
Oh,
it.
you should totally go see it. What else do you have?
World of Line says, does Kelly Brook have a Twitter account? No, she does not. I know this because I tweeted at her if she would have like a hot makeout with me during the interview. She replied yes.
Obviously a
which
lie.
is how I know it's a fake
Obviously
account.
a lie.
So do not believe any tweets you get from Miss Kelly Brook online. Unfortunately, she does not. But maybe we can convince her to have one.
I would like that.
Yeah,
I mean, she seemed like she was such a fan of the show, so now we have to get her in the tech world.
Maybe we confuse her and think it's a physical thing to get, and I'll tell her that I got her a Twitter account. And she has
There you
to
go.
come back to the show or over to Casa de Pereira to receive her Twitter account.
You can work on that. You can
Okay,
work on that.
I will.
I think it's time for today's epic fail.
Now, as we've demonstrated many times on this show, cliff diving doesn't always go the way you want it to. It just happens.
I mean, sometimes you lose your bikini top. I know, that's happened to me.
Yeah. Sometimes you lose your face. Such a good sound, though. Like a bag of flour on
I
the
know.
hardwood.
I just like that he tried to be cool by doing a backflip. Did not happen.
No.
Inflate face bag.
I like how his friends just sort of let him drown, though. That's the best part. Let's fail them for being lazy a-holes. Well, it's time for a thank you rodeo. Thanks to our guest Erica Ogg from CNET. Thanks to the gorgeous, adorable, fantastic and ball gown Chris Gore. I'm sorry, Kelly Brook. And thanks to Chris Gore as well for being here rocking the DV Tuesday.
I'd like to thank Team Hayslip.
Thanks Team Hayslip for the awesome celebration and the branding felt around the world. Stick around, Campus PD starts right